What is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be talking about some very, very big news coming out of the LEC, and this is regarding Team Vitality. So overall, the mini offseason between spring and summer was really not that exciting over in Europe, and really just in general this year, it wasn't as big and as exciting. Yes, TSM did make a couple of moves in the LCS, but over in the LEC, there was nothing too crazy except for the fact that Selfmade was kicked from Vitality, Haru was brought in, and then Bo was signed as well. Selfmade was kind of scapegoated for why the Vitality super team didn't work out in the spring. It sounds like the management, the coaching staff, and the players kind of all decided that they would be better off without Selfmade, and they ultimately, had some kind of explanation coming out as being like, yeah, in the mid to late game, we just weren't on the same page as Selfmade, and that's why we weren't able to convert a lot of, some of our games into wins later on into the game. Also, we know that there was some drama and controversy going on behind the scenes between Mephisto, the head coach, and Selfmade. And once Selfmade, started calling him out like publicly and stuff like that, obviously there was no way the relationship was going to keep going. And then as Haru, got to Vitality and they started scrimming and stuff, Perkz came out and said, hey, Haru has a chance to be the best jungler in the LEC, and things were going really, really well. But then come to find out, once the LEC actually started, hey, we're only 7 games into the year, and obviously this team hasn't been playing with each other the whole year. They've just been playing together for a couple of weeks now. But so far, it seems like Haru is almost Selfmade light. Maybe you could argue he's a little bit better in Selfmade. I think at best you could argue he is similar skill level to Selfmade right now, but I think most people are saying, hey, Haru's probably a worse version of Selfmade. They're playing similar, gold intensive, farm heavy play styles, and it just seems like Haru doesn't have the same pop off and carry potential. And, the interesting thing is right now, if you take a look at the LEC standings, you'll see Team Vitality's actually, in a similar spot once again. Right now, they are tied for 4th at 4-3. Maybe they're 4th, maybe they're 5th, maybe they're 6th, but this is pretty much the place where they sat in most of the spring split and where they ultimately finish after the playoffs as well. Was kicking Selfmade really the answer to all their problems or whatever? No, Haru definitely doesn't seem like the long-term solution. But the big update we got coming out of Team Vitality was this, and this is a question that's been going on, hey, when are we going to let Bo play? Hey, is Bo going to get to play in 2022? How good is Bo going to be? Is Bo, if Haru wasn't a step up from Selfmade, is Bo going to be a step up from Selfmade? And we got this news that Team Vitality tweeted out, welcome in Europe, Vitality Bo. I don't even know if that's completely English. I don't even know if that's a full sentence. And now that I'm reading it out loud, it actually sounds kind of stupid. Doesn't really make sense. But yes, we do have this picture, obviously right here, of Bo landing in Europe with a huge, kind of gang of Vitality members there to greet him, which is really, really cool to see. I think that's really important whenever you get an import, especially a younger kid, to make it a big, memorable moment, to make them happy, to get them excited, to make them feel welcome and at home, because that is obviously an issue. When you have language barrier, cultural differences, being away from friends and family, all these things, especially in Team Vitality, where yes, Haru is there, but if Bo ends up taking Haru's spot, then he's going to be left as kind of the only import. It's going to be 4 Europeans, and it's going to be Bo. He's not necessarily going to have, a lot of people from Korea or people that speak Korean or anything like that. So if they want this to be successful, they need to do this. And I think a lot of the imports that are able to be successful and build up long-term relationships with their teams do a very, very good job of this. I think, definitely I'm thinking about like Cloud9 and Berserker, how they've kind of, rolled out the red carpet for him and have really treated him very, very well. I hope Vitality is able to do something similar with Bo. So obviously, a lot of people think Bo is very, very talented. People are very excited for him. There was a ton of questions about how long it was going to take him to get his visa and when he was going to be able to actually leave China and all that stuff. I don't know why I said Korean earlier. Obviously, Bo is Chinese. I was getting Haru kind of mixed up there. So that wouldn't even help. So yeah, no matter what, Bo's going to be the only Chinese player in this team. And like I said, even if he does end up taking Haru's spot, he's still going to be the only even import. Obviously, European teams don't import a lot of players in general. But, there was talk of how long it was going to take him to get his visa and all this stuff. And obviously now he is in Europe already, which is very, very exciting. It also definitely makes me wonder what the heck TSM was doing, why they were not willing to go after this guy harder, especially, it's looking more and more like Spica's probably going to be leaving in the offseason. I don't know that if Bo ends up popping off for Team Vitality, this is going to look really, really rough for TSM. But he is there now. And now that he's in Europe, now he's going to be able to start scrimming with the team. He's going to be able to start practicing. Who knows? Is he going to play any matches for Vitality B? And the big question is going to be, is he going to play at any time during the split for Team Vitality? And again, right now, they are on the cusp of being good. They're not terrible. They're just one game back from first place. This is a team that absolutely wants to go to Worlds and absolutely has the potential, if they play well, to go to Worlds. And if Bo ends up being better than Haru, he should absolutely play because, yes, Bo is just getting to Europe. He's just starting to scrim. He doesn't know English very well. They go on to say that. But Haru hasn't been playing with this team very long either. And I don't know. If Bo comes in and he's able to, pop off and carry Team Vitality to Worlds or something like that, it would be very, very crazy because, even though people are saying Haru doesn't really look better in self-made, or maybe he's the same as self-made or whatever, Vitality actually is looking better in some ways. Perkz has been, from what I've seen so far, I think a lot better than he was in the spring. I think Perkz is actually starting to ramp up. He actually has some of the best laning stats in the LEC, and a good Perkz is always going to be scary. Alphari is usually going to have some good laning stats. This team can put together some interesting early games, and if you throw in an LPL style jungler like Bo in there, you have him on some aggressive early game stuff like a Xin Zhao or something like that, I think they could absolutely, kind of wreak havoc and create some chaos. And I think this Team Vitality team could all of a sudden be very, very interesting to watch out for. So again, that's the question: is he going to play? Are they going to play him? What's the plan? What's going on? And interesting enough, people started asking around about this. This was a Reddit post that came across, my feed, and this is Mephisto on the Haru Bo jungle situation at Vitality. At some point, when the time is right, we will incorporate him into the roster in a suitable way. But I think Bo is going to be a super curveball that we can throw at our opponents at any time, even the day before a match, which is just a weird quote. I don't think anyone really thinks Mephisto is too great of a coach. I think, they think he definitely does a lot of weird stuff, and this doesn't make sense. Throwing him in the day before a match when you don't even know if he's going to be playing, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but it sounds like this could potentially be some kind of 6-man roster situation. Mephisto does say in this interview that Haru is our starting jungler. He is going to be the starter going forward in the future, pretty much no matter what happens. Hey, we'll see about that. Who knows if Vitality goes on some losing streaks, or if Bo starts popping off in scrims, or if Haru starts looking bad, or if Vitality gets desperate. This is an expensive team. They spent a lot of money on this roster. They have high expectations. In the spring, they did not finish top 3. They would not have been going to Worlds, hypothetically, if you took the top 3. And there are some LEC teams that got better from split to split. Mad Lions definitely got better. It seems like Excel definitely got better. And if Vitality wants to be in that mix, they're going to have to do something. So I did think it was really cool that Bo is now in Europe. He's now ready to go. He's now practicing with the team. He's learning English. He's doing all this stuff. Also, I know they said he was going to be streaming on the Team Vitality account. I don't know if that actually happened or not. I think the tweet ended up getting deleted or something like that. But Vitality is starting to integrate him into their whole situation, into their whole systems. And this could potentially be very, very exciting. Even if Bo doesn't end up playing at any point in 2022. Either way, just the fact that he's now in Europe, now getting going, it's going to be fun to watch him play solo queue and follow all that. It's going to be, just fun to see how this all goes and how it all plays out. And either way, like I said, even if he doesn't play at all in 2022, just getting ready and hyping him up for the 2023 season is going to be really fun. It's going to be really interesting. Just thinking about a potential Bo Perkz mid-jung duo, if Perkz can continue to stay in this good form he's in, and if Bo is able to live up to the hype and expectations, because this guy really is a blue chip prospect. Now we've seen some prospects pan out. We've seen some not. Obviously, the Shenny TSM situation has been an absolute disaster. I don't think that's because Shenny wasn't good enough, but Bo, is from that same group, from that same class of prospects coming through FPX that Shenny was a part of, and there's obviously always going to be complications getting any rookie player, getting them up to speed in the LEC level is going to be difficult, but especially when you're taking a young import and a young import as hyped up and was with much expectations as pressure as Bo, but also with, the controversial pass and all that different stuff going on. I don't know, but either way, I think it's very, very exciting, and I personally haven't been that impressed with Haru so far this split, and I definitely hope Bo gets a shot at some point during 2022, during the summer split for Team Vitality. I think it would be so fun to see him getting a chance as a full-time starting jungler and seeing if he and Team Vitality can go on some kind of playoff run and maybe even end up going to Worlds. And even if they fall short, who cares? It's not the end of the world. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, they weren't a top 3 team in spring. If they're also not a top 3 team in summer, that's okay, as long as they're starting to build towards something better, which I think is, much more likely with Bo than with Haru. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate that so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation. Would you let Haru start for the rest of the split, get Bo ready for next year? Would you throw Bo in there right away? I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Consider checking out the Discord, first link in the description below. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.